Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you to our Bhagavad Gita class. So we are on chapter 12. The objective of this class is to enable reading of the shlok, to understand the meaning of the shlok, and to help understand the basic philosophy of Gita. We are on chapter 12 called Bhakti Yoga or devotional service. As mentioned earlier, Gita has got 18 chapters. It is divided into 3 parts. The first 6 part is mainly focused on Karma Yoga and Dhyana Yoga. The last 6 part is mainly focused on Jnana Yoga, and the middle 6 part is on Bhakti Yoga. Yeah, it is said that the first part is like the base of a jewel box. The last part, last 6 part, is like the lid of the jewel box, and the jewel inside is basically Bhakti Yoga. Now, why is it so important? Because it is a Bhakti Yoga when Krishna starts revealing himself. He starts talking about himself and starts revealing about how someone can actually cross the ocean of birth and death and reach Krishna. So it is that's why it's the most confidential knowledge. Now, so chapter 7 to 12 is Bhakti Yoga, and we are on the last chapter of Bhakti Yoga, which is chapter 12. Now this chapter has got 20 shlok, which is again divided into 3 parts that we have sections that we talked about. The first is about Arjun's inquiry, who is better, a personalist or impersonalist. The second section is about Krishna answering this question of Arjun. The third is about progressive stage of bhakti, and the fourth, from 13th to 12 to 20, is about qualities that make someone dear to Lord Krishna. So today we are on the last section of the Bhakti Yoga. So from today, after today, the Bhakti Yoga section will finish and we'll move to Gyan Yoga section for the next class, right? So we are on the last section of Bhakti Yoga, which is qualities that makes devotee most dear to Lord Krishna, followed by the story from Padma Purana on glories of chapter 12. So let us summarize what we have read in this chapter till now. So this chapter starts by Arjun inquiring who is better, a personalist or a impersonalist. Now, who is a personalist? Personalist is someone who worships the form of Krishna, who worship the form of Krishna. And the impersonalist is one who worships the Brahma Jyoti, Nirakar Brahma. That is called impersonalist, right? So Krishna in the second shlok replies that the pure devotees of Krishna are the most perfect yogi. It is the personalist who worship Krishna in the form of Krishna are the most perfect yogi. He clearly defines that. And then from in the shlok 3rd and 4th, he defines more on the qualities of impersonalist. And then he talks about the characteristics of the people who worship impersonalists. And then what is the final destination of such impersonalists? So he explains that the Param Brahma is not only beyond the senses, but it is indefinite, it is unmanifested, it is Sarvatra Gam Achintya. Sarvatra Gam means it is all pervading. It is Achintya. Achintya means it is inconceivable. It is Kutastha. Kutastha means it is unchangeable. It is Achalam. Achalam means it is immovable. And Dhruvam. Dhruvam means it is fixed. So that is how by these 8 characteristics he defines the impersonal Brahm, and he says that those who, what is the process that they follow, the impersonal follow to worship the impersonal Brahm? They actually control their senses. Unlike a devotee, what does a devotee do? They actually engage their services in worshipping the form of Krishna. But the people who follow impersonal Brahma, what they do? They try to control their senses, and then Sambuddhya. They are Sambuddhya means equal in honor and dishonor, in happiness and distress. So they are Sambuddhya, and they are Sarvabhut Hitarata. Sarvabhut Hitarata means Sarvabhuta Hita means they take care of Hita. Hita is the goodness for everyone. That is what they do. That is the process they follow. And then what is the destination they reach? He says, Te prapnuvanti mameva. They also achieve me. So when a personalist also achieve Krishna and also a personalist achieve Krishna, then what is the difference in those two? So Krishna has explained earlier that what happens? Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanaman mam prapadyante vasudevam sarvamati se Mahatma Tudulabha. He says that after many, many, many births, those who follow the process of path of knowledge or they worship impersonal Brahm, they finally Mam prapadyante. Prapadyante is surrender to me. And when they surrender to me, what will happen? Vasudevam sarvamiti. When will they surrender? When they have understood after many, many births that I am everything. And then they surrender to me and then they are able to reach me. So it takes them many, many births, right? And then in the that is the fifth slok, and then so he says the fifth slok that the path followed by impersonalists is very, very troublesome. Why he has explained it is very troublesome? Because he says that we are form, we have a form, so we have a body, we have a form. So for us it is very, very easy to engage with something which has a form, so we can engage our senses. So basically we can engage our senses in worshipping or engaging with the form of Krishna. But those who follows impersonal Brahm, they, for them it is very, very difficult to get engaged, control the senses and pray to the impersonal Brahm, right? And then in the sixth and seventh slok, he explains that those who follows bhakti, that is the devotees who follow bhakti, they are ananya bhakta. Ananya bhakta means they have one pointed attention towards Krishna. What do they happen? What happens to them? Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasamatpara. Those who give up, sannyasis give up. What they give up? Sarvani karmani. All the work. And what to for what? Matpara. And they engage in me. Ananya. And how do they engage in me? Ananya naiva yogena. And how do they engage in me? By Ananya Bhakti, by one pointed devotional service. And then Mam Dhyayanta. Mam Dhyayanta is they are meditating on me. Upasate means they worship me. So what does Krishna do to them? He says, Tesham Aham. To all of them, Aham is I. Samuddartha, I deliver them. Deliver from where? Mrityu Sansar Sagrat. From the ocean of birth and death. And how does he deliver? Not after many, many births. He says, Bhavami na chirapar. The chir is last, is after. Na chira means very swiftly. Very swiftly I deliver them from the oceans of birth and death. So if anyone who is a pure devotee of and who can, it is an extremely it is extremely difficult to become a pure devotee of Krishna. It has got us very, very strange. It's a journey. Yeah, it's a journey. And if someone can become that, then what happens? Krishna, he swiftly deliver him from the ocean of birth and death. And then we read about the progressive stages of bhakti. He says, how to do my bhakti? What should you do? He says, first is fix your mind and intelligence on me. That is, Mai eva man adatsva, Mai buddhim niveshya. Mai eva, on me only you fix your mind. It means all your desires should be pointed towards me. Mai buddhim niveshya, and all your intelligence should be pointed towards Krishna. Intelligence has the capability of taking decisions. So whenever you have to take decision, you have to see what is going to bring me towards Krishna. So all your decisions should be based on the fact that what is going to bring, whether if I do this, will it bring me closer to Krishna or will take me away from Krishna. So have that intelligence that choose something which is going to take you towards Krishna than which is going to take you away from Krishna. So if you can do that, that is the highest nivsishyasi mayeva, and always living with me, then there's no doubt that what will happen? That is the highest form of bhakti, and that is, we talked about the gopis of Vrindavan, right? He says, then he gives the second stage. He says, if you cannot do this, if you cannot always think about me, point all your desires towards me, and take all the decisions which take you towards me, if one cannot do that, then what is one supposed to do? Follow the regulative principles with Krishna as the focus. Then practice. What do? Abhyas yogena. Then do practice. Practice by connecting to me in such a way, with the desire to achieve me, because it is not, it is the highest form when you are always thinking about Krishna, when your all decisions are for Krishna. If you cannot reach there, then follow the path in which way, so that your desires are that I want to get Krishna, and all your practices should be towards achieving Krishna. So get up early in the morning, take bath, do your chanting, hear Bhagavatam, read Bhagavad Gita, cook prasad for Krishna, cook prasad for Krishna, distribute. So all your activities, decorate the God, offer prayers to the God. All your activity should be attached to, centered around Krishna. That is how you can actually, then you can finally achieve Krishna. If you cannot do that also, then you work for Krishna, because it is difficult to concentrate keep always your mind and intelligence focused towards Krishna. So when you are chanting, when you are hearing what's happening, you are engaging your internal, you are engaging your mind, and you are engaging your intelligence in doing that. But if you are not able to do that, you are not able to focus your mind and intelligence on Krishna, then what you do? Then you work for me. Use your external senses, use your hand, use your eyes, use your other things for working for Krishna. What is the meaning of working for Krishna? So we talked about two sevas. You can do a direct seva and you can do an indirect seva. What is a direct seva? Preaching for Krishna, selling books for Krishna, hosting festivals for Krishna. So all the things which will actually help to spread Krishna consciousness, that is actually the direct seva of Krishna. That is called the direct seva of Krishna. But if you cannot do that, if you are not able to do that, then what? If you are working in an organization, whatever money you get, you offer that to Krishna. Whatever support you can give to the people who are doing that, do that. That is how you can actually move forward in the path of devotion. And Krishna says, if you cannot even do that, somehow you cannot get connected to Krishna at all, you are not, the maturity of the person is not that he doesn't believe Krishna is the supreme Lord. He has not achieved, the person has not achieved at that level where the person believes or believes in the Bhagavad Gita statements that Krishna is the supreme Lord, and still has a doubt. Then what you do? It means one has to get more purified to achieve that state. And for that, what you need to do? He says, whatever work you do, whatever activity you are doing, there'll be a reaction to it. So that is you get a result of that. Whatever karma phal you get of the activities you get, you actually offer that, not to Krishna, but to anyone else. Go to do a charity here, do take care of poor, go and give food to others. Whatever you can do, you do that, because by doing that, one gets purified. When the senses gets purified, when the mind gets purified, when the heart gets purified, then then one is capable of understanding who is Krishna, and then you can follow the third 2 and 1 process. That is how Krishna is explained about progressive stages of bhakti. So today we'll move to the last section, which is qualities that makes one dear to Lord Krishna. We are going to read those qualities. So let us start. Shlok number 13 and 14 we'll start at. Please repeat after me. अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहंकारः समदुःख सुखक्षमी.
Samadukha Sukhasami.
Santushta Satatam Yogi.
Santushta Satatam Yogi.
Yatatma Dhrina Nischayah.
Yatatma Drida Nischayah.
Maya Arpit Mano Buddhir.
Maya Arpit Mano Buddhir.
Yamad Bhakta Same Priya.
Yo Mad Bhakta Same Priyaha.
Adveshta Sarvabhutanam.
Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam.
Maitra Karuna Evacha.
Maitra Karuna Evacha.
Nirmamo Nirahankaraha.
Nirmamo Nirahankaraha.
Samadukha Sukhakshami.
Samadukha Sukhasami.
Santushta Satatam Yogi.
Santushta Satatam Yogi.
Yatatma Dhrina Nischayah.
Yatatma Drida Nischayah.
Maya Arpit Mano Buddhir.
Maya Arpit Mano Buddhir.
Yo Mad Bhakta Same Priya.
Yo Mad Bhakta Same Priyaha.
Mataji.
Adveshta Sarvabhutana Maitraha.
Adveshta Sarvabhutanam.
Maitraha Karuna Evacha.
Maitra Karuna Evacha.
Nirmamo Nirahankara.
Nirmamo Nirahankaraha.
Samadukha Sukha Shami.
Samadukha Sukhakshami.
Santushta Satatam Yogi.
Santushta Satatam Yogi.
Yatatma Drida Nischayah.
Yatatma Dhrina Nischayah.
Maya Arpita Mano Buddhi.
Maya Arpit Mano Buddhir.
Yo Madbhakta Same Priyaha.
Yo Mad Bhakta Same Priyaha. So let us read the translation given by Srila Prabhupada. One who is not envious,
One who is not envious,
but is a kind friend of all living entities,
but is the kind friend to all living entities,
who does not think himself a proprietor
who does not think himself a proprietor,
and is free from false ego,
and is free from false ego,
who is equal in both happiness and distress,
who is equal in both happiness and distress,
who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Yeah. So now let us. So here in this slok from 13 to 20, Krishna has talked about 31 qualities of a devotee. He has talked about 31 qualities of a devotee. And he starts by, so let us, so these all qualities that we are going to talk about, they are the transcendental qualities of a pure devotee. These qualities you find in a pure devotee, means those who have already arrived the first stage. Maya Arpit Mano Buddhir, right? Those who are mind and intelligence are fixed in Krishna, right? So rest who are following. So how to get these qualities, right? How to get these qualities? So what happens is, by the blessings of Guru or a pure devotee, when you get in touch with them, what happens? You get a Bhakti Lata Beej. You get a seed of Bhakti Yoga. You get it gets implanted in you. Maybe when you eat the prasad, when you listen to the lecture, in some way the bhakti, you start actually getting the understanding. Okay, Krishna exists and this is what it is. You get the Bhakti Lata seed gets planted. Now then when you start chanting, when you start hearing, when you start reading, when you come into association of devotees, what happens? When you do all those things, the Bhakti Lata creeper, it starts growing. It starts growing, right? And how does it grow? How strong, how big or how strong it grows? Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathayiv. So Krishna says, how much you surrender to me, accordingly will be you will get the, it will get reflected on you. I am not partial to anyone, neither am a friend of anyone, but how much you are ready to surrender to me, accordingly you will get the qualities. So he says the creeper is growing, and to grow, when the creeper is growing, you start getting the Vaishnava qualities. And how does this quality, this there, and how it directly depends upon how much we are ready to surrender to Krishna, right? How much we are ready to surrender to Krishna. So then the first quality that Krishna talks about is Adveshta. Adveshta is non-envious. Adveshta is non-envious. Now the question is, how does this how this envy is there? So now a devotee, a pure devotee, understands Mamai Vansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Krishna says in chapter 15 that all the living entities in any of the yoni, they are nothing but a ansha of mine. A they are a particle of me. They are a mamai vansho. They are the ansh. They are the parts of me, part and parcel of me. Mamai vansho jeev loke jeev bhuta sanatan. The eternal part and parcel of me. And aham bij pradam pita. In the 14th chapter, he'll talk about that I am the seed giving father of everyone. So a pure devotee understand that everything is Krishna, and all the living entities that we see, movable, immovable, they are nothing but they are actually they are ansha of Krishna. So the pure devotee is not, he sees everything. For the pure devotees, it is always only God, only Krishna, and for rest everything is basically they are part and parcel of Krishna. So they are not envious to anyone. Why does envy happens? Envy happens when when you see some people, one who is comparing with others. When you are comparing with others, comparing in what sense? You can compare in either the position. Okay, that person has got this position, you have got so much money, so much prosperity. So you can compare in those parameters and start feeling envious about that thing, right? Start feeling envious about that. One can also feel envious for a bhakta in the spiritual path also. If someone is a better devotee, a person who is not yet mature may also feel jealous of the success of the other devotee and say that okay, that person is useless, or say wrong things about that. So basically why it is happening? Because that person, one, is comparing, is looking at all these things at a material platform, material perspective, and also is not spiritually advanced enough to appreciate the spiritual advancement of other devotees, right? So then what happens? The enviness develops. But what happens? A pure devotee understands that everyone is nothing, is only fixed in Krishna. For him, everything else is immaterial. They are just a part and parcel of Krishna. So when he is seeing others' prosperity, it is so good. Is happy to see the prosperity of others. So the quality that you see in a devotees, they will never be envious to another. They are always what they are always Sarvabhutana Maitra. Sarvabhutana means all living entity. Maitra is friendship. They'll be always friendly to everyone they meet. And Karuna is kind. So those who doesn't have things, they'll be kind to others. They'll want to help others. And those who are equal, they'll try to do friendship. So they are, for them, everyone, therefore all living are equal. They'll be friend with everyone. They will be kind to others. They will not be harsh. They will not try to take revenge. They will always, because for them everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna. That's how they see it. So here we talked about three qualities: Adveshta, Sarvabhutana Maitra, and Karuna. We talked about the three qualities. Then Nirmamo. Nirmamo means it's not mine. Nothing is mine. The pure devotee has a very clear understanding that everything that is there is Krishna's. Nothing is mine. Nothing is mine. Even my husband, which is there with me, or my child which has been given to me, they all are nothing but gifts of Krishna. And what am I going through is also because of my karma. So they will have no attachment to anyone. They will live their life. They will responsibly do their activity, and also do all the required things with the relationship they have. For example, a relationship with husband wife, or a mother and daughter, mother and son. They perfectly carry out all the duties of the role they play in the life. But at the same time, they have no attachment. They are very clear that everything is nothing but it's a gift of Krishna, and have to been given to take care of it. So they take care of it in a very responsible way, because they all are nothing but a gift of Krishna. So they will be very responsible in taking care of it, but without attachment. That is dharmamo. Nothing is mine, right? And nirahankara, there's no proud. Because when nothing belongs to me, of what should I be proud of? Everything is Krishna, nothing is mine. I'm here as a part and parcel of Krishna because I wanted to enjoy. I never knew that, about the suffering of this world. But now I have understood. So for me, I have understood that Krishna is everything. So that is nirahankara. They have no ahankar. And sama dukkha sukha. Sama dukkha sukha. In all, yeah, in dukkha and sukh, they are equal. In dualities, they are equal. So whenever they are facing extreme dukh, so how do they take it? They think that the thought that they have is, it is because of my karma that I am suffering like this. Sama dukkha sukha means when they're suffering, it is because of my past deeds that I am now. It's a revenge which is being taken from me because I am devoted to Krishna. Krishna is very kind to actually reduce this dukh to the minimal that he can. He takes care of me. Krishna is taking my care. Because I am his devotee, he is actually minimally trying to give me the least dukh that he can. Similarly, when the sukh comes, the devotee understands that sukh and dukh are temporary. It is nothing but matra sparshasu konteya shitoshna sukh dugda. As Krishna says in second chapter, he says they are nothing but this sukh and dukh that we go through are nothing but because of the sense perception we get it in. It is just temporary. It will come and go in this life, right? They all are not permanent, right? And what does Krishna says? Tam titikshaso bharata. What we are supposed to do? Krishna says, you have to titikshasa, tolerate that. You cannot change it. It will come because it is your karma. So you should be thankful to Krishna when you get the pains, that at least all my bad deeds bad karma are getting destroyed. They are getting destroyed. And then what you should do? You should not react to it, but one is supposed to tolerate it. Tam titikshaso bharata. Oh Bharat, one must tolerate to that, right? So that is sama dukkha sukha. Then he says Chami. Chami is forgiving. They are always forgiving. You whatever mistakes happen, they know that okay, it has happened. They are always ready to forgive. Will never try to take revenge, punish. That is not their characteristics. No eye to eye, or it is, they will always be ready to forgive and create a smooth love environment with which where love and Krishna consciousness can grow. That is what the quality of a pure devotee is. So we have with this we completed the 8 qualities. Adveshta, Sarvabhutana Maitra, Karuna, Nirmamo, Nirahankara, Samadukha Sukha, and Chami. So we have covered the 7. Oh, is it? No. 7, 4 and 3. First 3. 3 and Samadukha Sami.
Okay.
Samadukha Sukha is A1. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 we have covered. Let's look at that. Santushta. Santushta is satisfied. Whatever they get, they are satisfied. They don't say, Dil mange more, I need this, I need that. No. Because their focus is always Krishna. So they are happy, they are satisfied in whatever they get, because materially they don't care. For them, the focus is always to work for Krishna, do things for Krishna. So whatever they are getting materially, they are happy. Right? Satatam yogi. They are Satatam yogi. Satatam is always. And yogi is connected to Krishna. Yogi is connected to Krishna. They are always praying to Krishna. Yatatma. Yatatma is self-satisfied. And Drishnishya, determined. They are very, very determined to follow the path and also do the seva, devotional service for Krishna. They are determined to do that, right? Then Maya Arpit Mano Buddhir. Their mind and intelligence are actually Arpit. There's been always offered to Krishna. Maya Arpit Mano Buddhir Yo Mad Bhakta Savchami Priya. So those Bhakta which has all these qualities are very, very dear to me. Right? Now, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto, 8th chapter, it is about Kunti's prayer. Kunti is praying to Krishna, and she says a beautiful prayer of Kunti to Krishna, and she's telling that anyone, so those who are of respectable parentage, those who are striving for high birth, wealth, great wealth, high education, bodily beauty, they cannot approach you. So those all are materialistic things. Yeah, so those who are working towards all these things, they can never approach you. But those who may have all these things but are not attached to the material world, they are the one who are eligible to achieve me. Now, even in Swarg, we have this, what do you call it? This envy is there. So I'll tell the story of Prithu Maharaj and Indra, right? So in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a story about Prithu Maharaj. So Prithu Maharaj was a very, very great king. He was a very, very great king, and he was actually was doing a Ashwamedh yagya. Yes, and he had decided that he will do 100 Ashwamedh yagya. So it is said that if someone does 100 Ashwamedh yagya, they get the position of Lord Indra. They get the position of Lord Indra. Now, when Prithu Maharaj he started doing this yagya, he was on the 99th yagya. Now Indra started getting envious. Indra started getting envious. He started getting worried about his position, what will happen. So he came down as a sannyasi, and he took the the ghoda, the horse that was supposed to be done for the last yagya. He took it away. Now, when he was taking it away in that yagya, Brahma, everyone was present. When he was taking away, Atri Muni saw that. And Atri Muni told Prithu's son that, oh, look at that. Indra is taking the form of sannyasi, is taking the Ashwa. Now, when Prithu's son, he went to take the horse, and he saw it was a sannyasi, so he did not actually kill him. He left him. And then, but immediately Indra disappeared and left the horse. Again, when so the son brought the back. Again, when the yag started, 99 was going on. Again, Indra came, and multiple times he came to take the horse. And finally, what happened? The devatas, so the rishis, they said, okay, you hold on, let us now, we will do in such a way that we'll call Indra and we'll put him in the yag itself, Yagashala itself, we'll put him. So when they started doing the chanting, Brahma came and said, no, don't do that. It is not wise to do that, because he is the king of heaven. And then finally, because Vishnu and all, and they actually forgave Indra and blessed Prithu and said that, okay, you don't have to do 100 yag, leave it at 99. So he left it there, and in the next cycle, he became the Indra of the Swargalok. So the envy goes even to the Swargalok, right? So a pure devotee does not have envy. So that's why he goes to Golok Vrindavan in the transcendental plane. It is beyond the Svarglok is in the material world. Now let us go to Shlok number 15. Yasmano dujate loko lokano dujate chayah harsha marsha bhayo dvegair mukto yasa chame priya yasmano dijvijate loko lokano dijvate chayah harsha marsha bhayo dvegair mukto yasa chame priya yasmano dujate loko lokano dujate chayah
Payodveger
Harsha Marsha Bhayodvegair
Muktoya Jasa Me Priyaha.
Mukto Yasa Cha Me Priha. Now here Krishna explains that Yasma no Dvijate Loko. And so Yasman. The last word in the first line is Yah. Yah means he. He who what does that he does? Yasman, by whom? No Udvijate Loko. No, Loka is people. Who is people who does not put any people in difficulty or puts them makes them angry or agitated. Udvig means agitated. It does not agitate anyone. Someone who does not, udvig means agitation or anxiety, put someone in anxiety. So those who does not put anyone in anxiety. Loka no dvijate chaya, neither, and the people who could not put him in anxiety. Harsh amarsh. Harsh is happiness. Amarsh is distress. Bhaya is fear. And udvigna is anxiety. Those who are mukti, who they are free from all this, yasa chame priya. That bhakta is again very, very dear to me. So let us read the translation by Srila Prabhupada. He by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me. Right? So, Motherji, you spoke already, right? You read already. Yeah. So here, now in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has explained it very well in the 62nd and 63rd shlok. He says, why does agitation, anxiety, or anger happens? He has explained it very beautifully. He says, Dhayato Vishyan Punsa Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodha Bijayate. It means while contemplating the object of senses, when you are thinking about some object, when you want something, when you have a desire to get something, then what happens? Then when you desire, then you develop attachment to that person thing, right? If one wants to want something, then what will happen? You get attachment to that. And what happens? Because of this attachment, lust develops. And because of this lust, if you don't get it, anger will come. Yeah. So it all starts by one's desire. When we keep on desiring something, then it becomes all the more strong and I get attached to it. Now, if I get attached, then it becomes lust. It means whether it happens or not, I want it. Yeah. And if one doesn't get it, then you will get anger. And then in the 63rd shlok, Krishna says, Krodhat bhavati sammoha Samohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhrashad buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashyati. From anger, complete delusion arises. When you are angry, then you forget the difference between wrong and right. And then from this delusion, your memory becomes bewildered. Memory becomes bewildered, it means you are not able to take your right decisions. And when memory is bewildered, then what will happen? Your intelligence is lost. Intelligence will take you to the wrong direction. And when intelligence is lost, what will happen? One falls down again into the material pool. So Krishna says that this is how it is. It all happens, it all starts by getting attached to a desire, desiring something and getting attached to a desire. Now, this slok, Yasma no dijite loko, lokan no dijite chaya, it is for pure devotees. So what they have? For pure devotees, they don't care about anything material. Their desire is also Krishna. Those here is towards Krishna. Their desire for Krishna, anything is connected to Krishna, working for Krishna. Those who are in the second category of progressive stage, those who are following the regulative principle to get Krishna, even for that, their main thing is focusing on Krishna. So what happens? For them, they don't have those material desires, yeah, which can make them fall. Yeah. So their attachment is to Krishna, right? It is not to the worldly things. So that is how. So the pure devotees' senses are engaged in Krishna, and then if you see anyone who has achieved that, they'll be very humble. You'll not see them shouting. They'll be very humble. They'll be always pleasant. They'll be always polite. It is not that they are weak, but they have understood the austerity of speech. They have understood the austerity of speech, that your speech should not be such. Your speech should be such that it should not be
Hurting others.
hurting anyone. It should not be hurting anyone. It should not. So, yes, ma, no, it is loco. By your speech, by your any action, you will never try to hurt others. That is how the devotees are. And they are so focused to Krishna that if anyone else tries to hurt them, it doesn't matter to them.
Yes. They won't bother about
They are sama dukkha sukha. So it doesn't matter to them. And then that's why it says harsha marsh. Whether in happiness or they are put in distress. Bhaya and advi. Whether they are fear and anxiety. They are free of that. Mukta. They are free of that.
Yeah.
And those who are very dear to me. Why does fear comes? Fear, if you look from an external person, fear, we are fearful of an animal, a lion coming and killing us, or we can be fear of some external dog, animals, or a insecure. Fear could be of many types. One thing can be external people, like or a chore, or dacoit can. So they are one external fear. Then one is an internal fear, insecurity. What will happen if I don't have money? What will happen if some if I lose my dear one? What will happen? So those are my internal fears, right? And the biggest fear for everyone is death. Everyone is scared of death. Oh my God. Now, I'm now growing old and I may die any day. But a devotee, Krishna's devotee, welcomes death because
this is not our body.
it's very clear that this is not our body. We are soul and we are a part and parcel of Krishna. I have led my life for you, Krishna, and I'm waiting to come and meet you. Come fast and take me with you. So they are more than happy. They are not scared of death. They are more than happy.
There is no general monster.
Absolutely. For them, they are already liberated. They are already with Krishna. So for them, they're not scared of death or anything because they know if the day Krishna wants, will come in, will send his Viman and take me to the Golok Vrindavan. So for them, it doesn't matter to them whether, because they are free from all the fears of external things or internal things because they know they are very well protected by Krishna, right? So they don't have any bhaya. And because they don't have any fear, so they don't have any anxiety. And that's why they are free from bhaya and anxiety, right? Let's go to the next slok. Anapeksha suchirdaksha
Anapeksha suchirdaksha
udasino gatavyatha
udasino gata vyatah
sarvarambha parityagi
sarvarambha parityagi
yamad bhakta same priya
yo mad bhakta same priyah
anapeksha suchirdaksha
anapeksha suchirdaksha
udasino gatavyatha
udasino gata vyatah
sarvarambha parityagi
sarvarambha parityagi
yo mad bhakta same priya.
yo mad bhakta same priyah.
Yeah.
Anapeksha suchirdaksha
Anpeksha shuchirdaksha
udasino gatavyatah
udasino gatavyatha
sarvarambha parityagi
sarvarambha parityagi
yo madbhakta same priya
yo mad bhakta same priya. So he continues with the additional quality anapeksha. Anapeksha means without apeksha. Without apeksha means without expectations.
Expected.
Because they don't have any expectation. I don't need anything. If you give, thank you. If you don't give, then also thank you.
You are not doing okay.
Also okay. Yeah, they are satisfied. They are santushta. They are satisfied. They are so they are anapeksha. They don't expect anything from anyone. Shuchi, they are clean. Daksha, they are expert. Why are they expert? Because they very well know the purpose of life. They know that this human life is meant for God realization, and this is very, very rare. So their focus will not be to go and study XYZ things, but their focus will be how to actually use this human body to cross the ocean of birth and death. And Krishna very clearly says that those who are my devotee and who puts their mind and intelligence on me, I take care of them and deliver them faster from the ocean of birth and death. So they are very clear about it. So they are expert and they know that they should spend, they are very clear about the goal of their life, and they will spend their life taking care of Krishna. Udasino. Udasina is again free from careless. Gata means anxiety, and they are free from anxiety. Sarvarambha parityagi. Sarvarambha means arambha parityagi. They will not start anything new for material gains. Parityagi, they have left that. Anything for material gains they will not do. Whatever they will do will be taking them towards Krishna. Yo mad bhakta samay priya. Right? So let us read the translation by Srila Prabhupada. My devotee, who is not dependent on ordinary course of activities,
who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities,
who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me. Now we go to the next one. 17th. Yo na hrishyati na dveshti,
Yo na hishyati na dveshti,
na shochati na kankshati,
na sochati na kakshati,
shubha shubh parityagi,
shubha shubha parityagi,
bhakti manya same priyah.
bhaktimanya same priyah.
Yo na hrishyati na dveshti,
Yo na hishyati na dveshti,
na shochati na kankshati,
na sochati na kakshati,
shubha shubh parityagi,
shubha shubha parityagi,
bhakti manya same priyah.
bhaktimanya same priyah. Yo na hishyati na dveshti,
Yo na hrishyati na dveshti,
na sochati na kakshati,
na shochati na kankshati,
shubha shubha parityagi,
shubha shubha parityagi,
bhaktimanya same priyah.
bhakti manya same priyah. So, yona, those who na hrishyati, neither they enjoys, na dveshti, neither they grieve, na shochati, neither they lament, na kankshati, neither they desire, shubh ashubh parityagi, auspicious and inauspicious, they just don't bother, they have announced that. Bhakti manya, such devotees are very dear to me, right? So let us read the translation by Srila Prabhupada. One who neither rejoices
One who neither rejoices
nor grieves,
nor grieves,
who neither laments
who neither laments
nor desires,
nor desires,
and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious
and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious
things, such a devotee is very dear to me.
Such a devotee is very dear to me.
Now, this is Krishna is telling to Arjun. Now, what happened in the beginning? Arjun is totally emotional, attached, and he is in that position, right?
Yes.
Now, what does Gita does? Now, at that point of time, Arjun was attached to all material things. All his attachment, all his compassion, or everything was for the material things. And how Bhagavad Gita helps us? Bhagavad Gita helps us to mature emotionally and understand the real meaning of life. So it has emotionally transformed Arjun, right? So let us see how does it emotionally transform. So how Krishna transforms our emotions. So if you look at what we have studied, in Bhagavad Gita, so it first of all, when we start, he explains us who am I. He explains us, he stabilizes, he first explains us with respect to this material world. Who am I? So I am not this body, but I am soul, right? Then he says, why do we suffer? He explains why do we suffer. It is because of our own karma, which we have done in the previous life. And now in this life, it is nothing but we are bearing either we are enjoying the fruits of it or we are suffering the fruits of it. Then he says, again, why bad things happen to good people? Again, because of our karma. I have done bad to someone, I have to get it back, right? Then he also explains about the impermanence of everything. Nothing is material. All this world, whatever is there, it is just temporary. Nothing is permanent in this material world. He has created it, and in the end, everything will get destroyed. So all this happiness, this rich, poor, all this, and then he explains that the actual problem is not that whether I have tomorrow I have to go to office or I have this problem, but our actual problem is birth in this material world. The actual problem we are suffering is because of the birth, death, old age and disease. And this, if we'll take birth in this material world, this problem we will have to go through. So he also explains, so this is how he has explained us about this material world. And then he says, he stimulates the spiritual emotions. He explains that the only thing which is permanent is Krishna and the relationship with Krishna. Rest everything is actually temporary. And he also says, whatever sins you would have done, सर्व धर्म परित्याजे माम एकम शरणम व्रज अहम त्वाम सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुच. So he says, सर्व धर्म परित्याजे, leave all varieties of duty. Whatever sins you have done, forget that. Just surrender to me. And when you surrender to me, what will happen? Aham tvam. What I'll do? Sarva papebhyo. I will take care of all your sins. And what I'll do? Mokshishami. I'll give you liberation from all those there. Mashrucha. Do not fear. So this is what, that is how he makes our emotions strong. It transforms us. And that is why it doesn't matter to us. We are not fearful of other things. We are not fearful of death, because we know now we are away from, one is away from all the temporary things, and we are situated very strongly with our connection with Krishna. So nothing else actually matters. So this is what Krishna explains in 70. He says, no yona hyoshati na dveshti, na shochati na kankshati, shubha shubh parityagi. So someone who has achieved that state where even in happiness he is not enjoying, not that he is not happy. It's fine. Everything is good. Whether it is good, it's fine. If it is bad, it is fine. Everything is okay. Except it is because the person understands these all are temporary. Yeah. Then we go to the 18th and 19th shlok that we have. Samah shatru cha mitre cha
समशत्रु च मित्रे च
tatha manapamanayoh
तथा मानापमानयोः
shitoshna sukh dukkheshu
शीतोष्ण सुखदुःखेषु
samah sanga vivarjitah
समसङ्गविवर्जितः
tulya ninda stutirmoni
तुल्यनिन्दासुतिर्मौनी
santushto yena kenachit
सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित्
aniketa sthirmatir
अनिकेतः स्थिरामतिर्
bhaktis mame priyo narah
भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः
samah shatrau cha mitre cha
समशत्रौ च मित्रे च
tatha manapamanayo
तथा मानापमानयोः
shitoshna sukh dukkheshu
शीतोष्ण सुखदुःखेषु
samah sanga vivarjitah
समसङ्गविवर्जितः
tulya nindastu tirmoni
तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी
santushto yena kenachit
सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित्
aniketa sthirmatir
अनिकेतः स्थिरामतिर्
bhaktir maname priyo narah.
भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः
हाँ.
समशत्रौ च मित्रे च
samah shatrau cha mitre cha
तथा मान अपमानो
tatha manapamanayo
शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखेषु
shitoshna sukh dukkheshu
समसंग विवर्जितः
samah sanga vivarjitah
तुल्या निद्रा स्तुते
तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी
संतुष्टो येन केनचित्
santushto yena kenachit
अनेकतः स्थिरमतिर्
aniketa sthirmatir
भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः
bhaktiman me priyo nara. So here Krishna takes forward the concept that we read in last shlok. Sama shatru cha mitre cha. He is equipoised to shatru, enemy, or mitra, friend. Na tatha mana. If you give respect to the person, it is fine. You do not respect is also fine. It doesn't matter. Shitoshna sukh dukkheshu. Whether it is hot, whether it is cold. Sheet is cold, Ushna is hot. It doesn't matter. Sukh, dukh doesn't matter. Sama, it's all equal in all these. They're equipoised in all those things. Sangha vivarjita. And he is free from association of people who are focused on material gain. Sangha Vivarjita. Sangha of those people Vivarjita, those who are focused on, those who are not towards Krishna. So from that Sangha, it is detached. Yeah. Tulya Ninda Stuti Moni. And it is same whether you do a Ninda, you what do you call it? You actually blame him or you praise him or he's santushta, he's satisfied. Yena aniketa means he does not have a fixed place to stay, sthirmati, and is fixed in his in mind towards praying for Krishna. Such bhaktan may be, and such devotee is very very dear to me. So let us read the English translation. One who is equal to friends and enemies,
One who is equal to friends and enemies,
who is equipoised in honor and dishonor,
who is equipoised in honor and dishonor,
heat and cold,
happiness and distress,
fame and infamy,
fame and infamy,
who is always free from contaminating
who
association,
is always free from contaminating association,
always silent and satisfied with anything,
always silent and satisfied with anything,
who doesn't care of any residence,
who doesn't care for any residence,
who is fixed in knowledge,
who is fixed in knowledge,
and who is engaged in devotional service.
and who is engaged in devotional service.
Such a person is very dear to me.
Such a person is very
Right?
dear to
So
me.
here Krishna tells about regulating the emotions. Attach all your emotions to Krishna so that you are not, affected by the material, temporary senses or things that we go through. And the last slok of this chapter is, let's go to 20. Ye tu dharmamritamidam
ये तु धर्मामृतं हितं
यथोक्तं पर्युपासते
यथोक्तं पर्युपासते
श्रद्धाना मत्परमा
श्रद्धदाना मत्परमा
भक्तास्ते अतीव मे प्रिय
भक्तास्ते तीव मे प्रियः
ये तु धर्माम अमृतविदम
ये तु धर्मामृतम् इदं
यथोक्तं पर्युपासते
यथोक्तं पर्युपासते
श्रद्धाना मत्परमा
श्रद्धादान मत्परमा
भक्तास्ते अतीव मे प्रिय.
भक्तास्ते अतीव मे प्रियः.
Ativ is very very. Ativ is very very. So who is very very dear to him? Krishna. Ye tu dharmamritamidam. Those who this dharma of worshipping Krishna, this amrit, which is like amrit, which is like nectar, this dharma, this nectar of dharma, who worships accordingly with faith, and mat parma, taking me to be the supreme personality, such bhakta is ativ priya, is extremely priya to me. So let us see the translation by Srila Prabhupada. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service, and who is completely engaged themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very very dear to me. Now in the first canto of Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter, it has Krishna, it has defined what is dharma, what is param dharma. What is the param, the highest dharma for anyone? It's a very very famous slok of Bhagavatam. It says, "Sa vai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaja ahetukya ati prahata yayatma suprasidite." This is the definition of param dharma. Which is the highest duty? It says it is bhaktir adhokshaja. Who is adhokshaja? Adhoksha is Krishna. So the param dharma is bhakti of Adhokshaja, bhakti of Krishna. And which sort of bhakti? Ahetukya apratihata. Not that you are doing bhakti to get some benefit, but such devotional service must be unmotivated with and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the service. That bhakti of Adhokshaja, which is totally unmotivated, you don't need any other desire but Krishna, and uninterrupted, that the best you are, your full maya mano buddhir is all arpit to him. That is what is the highest dharma, right? This is how it is defined in Bhagavatam. So with this we are finishing the chapter 12, and I'll take a minute to take us through the glories of the story on glories of chapter 12 from Pant Puran. So all the stories are told by Mahadev, that is Shiva, to Parvati ji, and this happens. He explains that Kolhapur, that we all know, the place in Maharashtra, there is a very big temple. It's a major peeth of Mahalakshmi. there's a very, very big temple of Mahalakshmi, which is a major peeth of Mahalakshmi. And once what happened, a young prince visited this temple of Mahalakshmi in Kolhapur, and he started singing all the prayers of Mahalakshmi. After a long time, when he has been doing the service, devotional service, singing prayers for Mahalakshmi, she became very happy, and she came and said, "What do you want?" He said, "See, I am the son of King Brihadarth. I am the son of King Brihadarth, and he was actually performing Ashwamedh Yajna. And in between, he has actually left his body. And the horse, which had actually been sent to cover the entire earth, he has been stolen. So I don't know what to do. I need your help. I have tried my best to send people to search for that horse, but I'm not able to find. So I have come to you to take your help." So Bhagwati Lakshmi said, "Okay, you go to the temple door, and there's a Brahman called Siddha Samadhi sitting there. You go and talk to that Brahman." So he went to that Brahman and stood. The Rajkumar, the prince, went there and stood with his hands folded. He stood there. Now Brahman, when he saw him, he said, "Okay, I understand why you are here." And then he started doing mantrucharan. And at that point of time, all the devtas appeared in front of that Brahman, and he told them, "See, this son of Brihadartha, he was actually doing the Ashwamedh Yajna, and Indra has stolen that horse. So why don't you go search for the horse and bring it here?" And then the devtas disappeared, and then they came back with the horse. And the Brahmin gave that horse to the prince. Now, when the prince saw all these things, he became extremely surprised. He was like extremely, like very, very happy and surprised. He said, "You are such a big great saint. I need a help." Now, when this Ashwamedh Yajna was happening, my father has left his body. I want you to help to revive my father. He laughed and said, "Okay, take me to the place, mandap, where the yajna was happening." He said, "I have actually covered my father in the boiled oil, and his body is still there. Why don't you help me to revive him?" He says, "Okay, fine, you take me to that mandap." We went there, he did some mantra, and he touched the body got revived. Now, when the king woke up, he asked, "What is all this happening?" So the prince explained to the king all the incident that has happened. And now the king was very inquisitive, and he asked the saint, "What had been doing that you can do all these things?" He says, "I chant the chapter 12th of Bhagavad Gita every day." And this is and then the king, along with all his priests and the son, learned the chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita from this great saint. And that is the glory of chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita. So with this, we end our class. Hare Krishna. Let us now chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.